On February 22, 2022, the Dubai landscape welcomed a new addition to the city's skyline, the Museum of the Future. Located on the Sheikh Zayed Road, the city's main highway, its unique shape symbolizes the UAE's commitment to imagining and designing the future. In its first year, the Museum of the Future welcomed over 1 million visitors from around the globe. Yet, we are sometimes asked whether the Museum of the Future can be considered a museum. According to the Oxford Dictionary, a museum is a building in which things of value, such as works of art or historical objects, are collected and displayed. So how does the Museum of the Future fit in? We are more about future facts rather than artifacts. So is the Museum of the Future to be or not to be a museum? Let's go back to the beginning. The earliest known museum was created approximately 530 BC by a Babylonian princess called Inigaldinana in modern-day Iraq. Much later in 17th century Europe, private collections of exotic specimens emerged, often ranging from cultural objects, artworks, and natural history. These cabinets of curiosities gave many guests a glimpse into the past. In the 1700s and 1800s, museums started to surface around the world in countries such as Britain, Germany, and the USA, with exhibits reflecting parts of history. In 1913, the Boston Children's Museum introduced the idea of a children's museum. But it wasn't until 1964 that children were actually allowed to touch the exhibits. By the 2000s, immersive museums arrived, such as the Tech Museum of Innovation in California and the New York Hall of Science. These museums began replacing traditional displays of objects and artifacts behind glass. This is exactly what we do with the Museum of the Future. We're not exactly a traditional museum, but we do have fascinating exhibits, just not historical ones. And we welcome pioneers to touch and interact with our exhibits. We're also the first museum to create immersive possible futures by bringing together science, design, and technology. Our museum is built to transform the very perception of the future as we know it. So let's go back to our original question. Is the Museum of the Future really a museum? Yes. The Museum of the Future is a unique and special type of museum designed to inspire, ignite, and imagine a better future for us all. See you in the future!